Today is an auspicious day. A man will be offered to the gods. The blood of animals, especially humans, has great nourishing properties. That's why blood sacrifice is necessary for sustaining the gods. Without the blood sacrifice, the sun would stop rising and the entire creation would come to an end. Human sacrifice was the ultimate blood offering to the Mayan deities, but that blood has to come from specific parts of the body. For example, the tongue and genitals. Genitals were perceived as very powerful and divine organs, as they can reproduce. Not only for Mayans, bloodletting was a common ritual for many Mesoamerican societies. Human sacrifice had become so common among Mayans that they started depicting such events through their art. Any sacred event, for example, the enthronement of a new ruler, required blood sacrifice. The priests of Mayans. There were 4 important divisions of priests in the Mayan society. Those are Ahakinmai, Chilan, Nakon, and Chak. The highest among them, in terms of respect and status, was Ahakinmai. They used to take part in the most important religious events only, and the rest of the time they usually focused on astronomical and scientific aspects of their religion. Chilans were responsible for performing the duties of regular priests. Nakons, the next grade of priests, were actually responsible for performing the sacrificial rituals, and Chaks were old men who assisted Nakons. Who is this person who is being sacrificed? Why did they choose him? Generally, high-status war prisoners were considered to be the best choices for sacrificial rituals. Sacrificing the opposition leader was considered the best kind of sacrifice. Low-status prisoners were treated as free labor. The bloodletting ritual generally involved people with noble backgrounds or high social status. Depending on the prestige and importance of the occasion, the social status of the victims used to vary. In some cases, people purchased slaves to sacrifice. Most devoted members of the society even offered their sons to the gods. But how can a person sacrifice his or her own child? How did they normalize such an inhuman practice? The answer to this is hidden in their beliefs. Mayans were highly ritualistic people, and they believed that if a person died on a battleground or by religious sacrifices, they will definitely reach heaven. They will be honored in the afterlife. The gods, according to them, remain thankful to a person who offers his or her blood to the gods to ensure their nourishment. They also believed that being born as a human binds the soul with the body. Sickness and death can free the soul from the body. So in their minds, they were actually honoring or favoring the victim. According to Mayan belief, not only animals but non-living things like our earth are also kind of living entities. The entire creation undergoes a repetitive cycle of creation and destruction. So the current life of the victim is not the only chance for him or her to live and enjoy the world. Instead, being sacrificed for the gods would secure a better life for them after death, or probably in their next incarnation. So the idea of reincarnation or rebirth is also a crucial aspect in this context. The bloodletting ritual also involved additional practices such as tobacco smoking and prolonged fasting. Collectively, they helped the victim to experience an altered state of consciousness. They believed in such a state, they could communicate with gods and their ancestors. They generally prayed for victory, rain, good harvest, etc. During tough times, they asked their deceased ancestors for advice. Before the sacrifice, the victims used to be treated well and taken from town to town in triumphal procession. It was a custom to paint the victim blue, which was the color of sacrifice for them. Wearing a typical Mayan headdress was also required. I am not discussing the various processes of sacrifice as it might disturb many of you. However, we should not develop a wrong notion about the Mayan civilization. Based on statistical studies, it can be said that most of the references to such sacrificial rituals were found in a handful of sites, such as the southeastern Mayan lowlands. The inscriptions that talk about sacrificial rituals also criticize conflict and warfare. So we should not think that the Maya civilization was all about blood and violent rituals. To watch more videos like this on ancient civilizations, cultures, and religions, please subscribe to Sepia Diaries. See you soon.